Everybody better for the better podcast, and no, that's not how we start this video. "175 episodes in, I still can't remember what we're doing. Do you know what? Hello, welcome to the Christmas episode of the Random Podcast. It is episode 175. I'm Ben. I'm joined in person by Bullet Train Ben, Brush Type Ben, Blood Type Ben, and the connoisseur of wands, the Highlander himself, Ian Triplo. Merry Christmas, chaps.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas-ish. I
The
can't believe
snow's falling, by that I mean the rain.
means all this stuff all over the pitch, because we've just finished the last game of the year, actually, which is quite cool. We did a sevens game, we did some giants in it, which I thought was wildly unnecessary, but I couldn't resist because it just seemed like a lot of fun. So that was quite a cool thing to do. But we thought we'd get together while we were in person, and as we've kind of finished up wrapping the games for the year, we would just do an in-person podcast. Now, because it is like the Christmas week, and although we've already sent out a Christmas message, we just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who watches the channel. We've had a really cool year. The new edition of Blood Bowl's been fantastic. We hit 26,000 subscribers, which is
awesome.
Ridiculous. And it's been...
Seen as a few weeks ago, we were like, could we get to 25k for Christmas?
We did the live stream while you were in Japan, didn't we? We were like, oh, maybe we'll hit 25k, maybe we'll hit 25k. So that's been...
It's awesome. It's quarter of the way to 100,000. Yeah. 10th of the way to a million. That's crazy.
That is a million.
Yeah.
It will be a plaque soon.
Yeah.
Even the the Audible podcast thing, that's got 500,000 downloads. I did a check the other day.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, 500,000,
fantastic.
which is really absurd, but just a massive thank you to everybody. So we've got through 2026. We've got the new edition of Blood Bowl. We've got a brand new team to Blood Bowl in Bretonia. So we thought we'd do a bit of a 2026 wish list because, well, let's just be honest. We've had the teams of legend for a while, right? The list. So we're kind of like, okay, we know what to expect. We know what to expect. There is but one team left now, so I think it really opens up the wish list to some wish listing. So let's have a chat. 2026. What do you want first this year for Blood Bowl trips? Because I did set everybody some homework.
Yeah, so mine is variant themed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I thought going for high elves would be too very boring for a wish list. So I think the first thing I'd really like to see is I'd like to see Dungeon Bowl come back with the colleges done in such a way that it's going to last for more than one team release before one college gets immensely overpowered with 75 different blitzers in it.
So do you want more like a structured Dungeon Bowl?
More of a structured Dungeon Bowl, because I think we've all enjoyed Dungeon Bowl as a nice game to play every once in a while, because there's a lot of fun in the game and the rosters are a lot of fun and detail. So I'd like to see the current teams balanced into it in a way that makes it more fun. Maybe they do it around, you can only have 2 blitzers in each team.
Well,
that does seem to be their favourite thing at the moment.
I think they could just sort of remove some players from the game.
Yeah.
Just sort of thin it down a little bit. Because if you're going to have if you're going to cram it all into 8 teams, you're going to end up with such bloat that it might just be worth saying. You do really need all these linemen, you know.
Although you were mentioning earlier, Ben, that you can have positionals from any 3 teams.
Yeah, that's cool.
But they almost share a keyword or something like that, and then that limits the ability to go, I have got all of the best positionals and put them into one team and nobody wants to play. But
so some that could be like some teams which might be like Light Heavens, some which might be Fire Death.
That would be a great way of doing it. Yeah. That would be a really great way of doing it. Be like, the teams that are associated with the College of Shadows, you've got Dark Elves, you've got Goblins, you've got Skaven, you've got Underworld. Pick 2.
Yeah.
Would be like the min spec would be pick 2 of those and do mixed teams. But I mean, that would just like not in the old edition of Dungeon Bowl, but in the oldish edition, you had each of the colleges was made up as three teams, but like the main one you had to take most players from. The second one you took some players from. The last one you could take like one player from. It was weird though, because like two of the colleges, the last 0 to 2 player was werewolves. You're just like, okay. But I think that's a super good one, Trips, because I mean, Dungeon Bowl mechanically was wicked. I think the thing that killed it was the colleges were so unpersonal.
Yeah.
That it was just, it wasn't a cool extra. It was just being hamstrung. I think literally if they just been like, look, it's mixed teams. Take your team, add up to 4 players from a different team, one other team on this list, and choose a college. You could be like, oh, cool, I run a human team normally, but I'm College of Fire, so I'm actually going to get some ogres or some dwarves to go with it, and I can just say no WA. But you know what I mean? Like, if they just made it a way so you could take your team and add some stuff to it, I think it would have been amazing.
I don't know if I'd go down the route. I think I'd have it as they have rosters as their own, which are specifically designed for that team. So kind of more old school, where it's like, okay, this College of Death team this is how it looks, and it's like a roster like any other team. But it's just not quite as expansive.
I feel that's the way GW is more likely to go with it, is giving it like quite a structured.
I'm not sure. I think the opposite, because now they've got the trend of releasing teams as boxes. They probably just want it simple, just like buy 3 boxes for Dungeon Bowl.
But then if and when they add in new teams, don't just keep adding them to colleges. Put another college in and go, right, actually the next 2 new teams will go into the new college, so you don't end up with College of Heavens again,
or it's a living
like
rules set which updates every 3 team releases. They're like, okay, new Dungeon Bowl.
Oh, how good would that be to have Dungeon Bowl rotation be like, oh, this team is no longer eligible for College of Shadows. Actually, from what we've just seen, that would mean that there would be a more frequent removal of gutter runners. And I am so
in
against
Dungeon
that.
Bowl, I think that's so fun.
And we make Dungeon Bowl like that.
Skinks are the problem in Dungeon Bowl.
That's true.
You've got to runners alone.
Yeah, we'll make it that nice sort of like game that you can play every once in a while, and it's good fun. You have a bit of fun with it, and then you can put it away. So instead of putting it away and never coming back to it because the roster's just bloated out of control, you'd be like, let's go back to it in between seasons. Let's get some youngsters coming up. Let's lose some players and some teleporters.
That's right, because the entire gnome team just was like, add it to College of Shadows.
Which I still think is weird.
Really? Even the fox? Yeah, even the foxes. And you can get 4 of them. What is happening?
It's too much. I agree with you, Trips. I think some reworking of it, thinning down a bit, making it a little bit less
keeping
chaotic.
it tight, keeping it detailed, and also meaning that if you want to play it, you don't have to go out and buy 2 whole new boxes of stuff just to play the game. You can go, right, I've got a team of this, I can get a sprue of that.
Oddly, Games Workshop doesn't seem to want people to buy extra boxes of things, which I think is a very strange strategy for a capitalist autocracy such as Games Workshop. BT 2026 Games Workshop Blood Bowl, top of the wish list for you.
I mean, I say it every year, so it feels like a cop out. It's a cop out. I want chaos in Blood Bowl. I really do. I think it's about time that we see some proper chaos teams with Tzeentch and Slaanesh, and I want them to. I would love a themed box set release. Doesn't necessarily, not like a new edition, but if they, like how they do 40k stuff, where they kind of release 2 new things. Kill Team, exactly.
Like an expansion.
I would love that.
Like a starter
Chaos
box
Clash
that you don't have to get, which has got like a light rule set in, or
and then I'd forgive the slower release schedule too, because we saw that slow down a little bit this year. I think if you towards even the end of the year, whatever.
Would you be happy to drop the second team release of the year to put a chaos team?
If there was 2 teams in a box set, 2 teams in a pitch as a box set, as like a half season.
Well, High Elves are coming, so we High Elves, sort them out, and then you've got this.
What about putting Renegades in an actual box?
Oh, dude, I'm so worried about Renegades. Now they're in the rulebook, which I think means that they're probably safe.
But they've never released any models.
No. Well, they've got all the models available. It's such a weird team. But I was going through the team guides and the starting rosters, and there's a few of the old teams that just feel super vanilla. Like I was halflings, bless them. It's just like, there's not a lot of character here. And you get round to Renegades, and even though the throwers got slightly better in this edition, you are looking at it being like, man, everybody else got like, extra cool stuff. Renegades is cool because you just got the big guys like straight away. But like it one of those rosters that I love it, but it does lack charisma compared to every other team now.
Yeah.
So part of me is like,
Except Pathfinder.
yeah, I mean, and to be fair, Ogres is in that same category.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Renegades, I think I could see that being reworked.
Yeah.
I could see it being reworked. Big guys, absolute free for all, but I can see it being reworked in the way of like OWA and Underworld. And I don't know what that looks like because they've already chucked humans with stuff. I could see like a box with half a Chaos team and then something else. But I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't think it would be good. Well, I don't think it would be good. I don't think it would be... It's just not as fun. Like half... Imagine this. A sprue of humans, sprue of chaos. That's your new Renegades team. And big guys.
Yeah.
It's not great.
No.
That's why I'm worried about Renegades.
Yeah. Maybe that's why even a stronger case for chaos teams then.
I was going to say, so
can...
which of those races would you have as your top choice if you wanted then?
Assuming... Oh, Slanesh, I think.
Yeah.
I would like to see Tzeentch as a stunty team, and I think that would be a really good thing. And I'm sure there are people out there fed up with all the special rules that GW do, but a splitting mechanic, man, or have some kind of Tzeentch horror thing.
But
where
Trickster. Trickster's probably the most
I can see that,
complex rule we've had actually on the pitch.
You can have it as long as, and when the player splits, the chances of him being squished go up like double.
Well, it's just more like reduce their strength. Yeah, you've got a strength 3 player that splits into 2 strength 1s. I think that's like fine, but
get rid of to get your halfling stats for like a little stunted Tzeentch team with. I mean, don't give them dodge, don't give them wrestle, give them all sidestep and bend or something, and just absolutely let the carnage.
Or like the gain right stuff or something when they split or something like that. Just something that gives them that bit of character that makes you go, ooh.
Oh my god! Imagine if gnomes like died into foxes, like that kind of thing. You know, the halfling dies, and you immediately, when they're casualtied, you trickster them into a snotling.
Like, that's what I mean. It's so unique, and it will be such flavour. And I think it can come with a unique big guy. I want Slanesh to come with a unique big guy. That's what I mean. If Slanesh have like the sort of Slan rework, if they sort of adopt that, base, because I think it's got a few problems now with Pogo and how that's kind of unlimited now. I think. So I think that kind of needs a little bit of changing. So I think
the ultimate stat up save there for the Goblin Pogo. 14. Hope you spike on the edge. Imagine a whole team of that. Just like, oof. Yeah.
But a unique big guy with in place of the Crocs for Slanesh, and I think then you would have each Chaos race as its own unique big guy and its unique sort of player and unique play style. I think that's why I'm just so pro it. I think it would be really cool for the game and a clear win.
Yeah.
What about a Chaos Cultist team to replace Renegades? But like not actual
like undivided, basically.
Just like some Chaos dudes that kind of have normal-ish sport kind of... imagine this. It's right. Sprues. You get 6 dudes on a sprue, right? Imagine a Chaos Cultist sprue with a Snake Man on each sprue, with a Beast Man on each sprue, with a Mutant Goblin on each sprue, and with 3 human linemen on a sprue. You're missing the Dark Elf, sure, you're missing the Skaven. I could see that.
I like
that.
Just the thought of the Renegades going away, because they're
so good. They're so much fun.
Like, they are so much fun, and I've played them every few years. Ben and I's first game was Renegades on Renegades, and it was just a fun team to play with.
Was that a wobble?
That was 2 Dark Elves intercepting each other and everything else going hideously wrong.
I remember that. Yeah.
I like that. I could see that. I don't think it would. I mean, you never know with Games Workshop what they're going to bring out and what they're not going to bring out.
Yeah, that's true.
So my top of the wish list, obviously Teams of Legend. We've got High Elves. I want to see them out. I'm always a High Elf fan. Yeah. I want to see. Well, I think R.I.P. Yeah, I can see them doing something different with the sprues. Now they seem to be in this world where it's 2 sprues to a team. the Teams of Legend roster has obviously still got the 4 catchers, and you're looking at it being like, have they literally just ported it over? It's a fair coin flip, right? But
it feels like they've just ported it over because then when they change it, everyone who wasn't playing them with 4 catchers will be like, well, the 2 of the catchers had to go.
Mm-hmm.
I would find it really cool though if they did something different with the actual sprue, and like whether there is that they they get 4 catches as part of the sprue and you stuffed on lime. I don't know. I would like to see them do something different.
I don't want it to follow the same like blitzer, catcher, lineman formula.
That's been the biggest issue with High Elves this whole time, right?
Yeah.
In the 2016 edition, they were humans but with better edge. That's literally all they were. In this edition, I don't know, really, they're just the best team in the game by virtue of them not being 2025'd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that obviously I want to see a new team like that. But for me, I think we talked about it in the last game we just recorded, the Death Zone was wicked. And Death Zone came with Sevens rules, with giant rules, with a whole bunch of other nonsense rules.
Yeah. It came with like 20 inducements, which were like really mad.
The mercenaries, which were a bit broken.
Yeah.
But the thing I'd want in it is 7s to 11s, and then building on what you were talking about with Dungeon Bowl, taking your 11s team into Dungeon Bowl.
Franchise mode.
Basically, just something to build up that ownership. Because we've seen right, 7s is a great game to do as a mini league or to get people into play or whatever, but it's not a sustainable format. I know there are some places that will do it as a league, but it's not as satisfying as 11s league. And there's a whole bunch of leagues that won't bother playing Dungeon Bowl and they won't bother playing 11s because it's just a whole game that it doesn't matter to your team. Have it as linked in so you can have your 11s team and they can play some 7s and they can play some Dungeon Bowl, and that it all actually counts. Like, that's why Dungeon Bowl died.
Yeah.
The teams were just different, but the mode just didn't matter. So it was just landed and people were like, cool. But actually, I'm going to go play Blood Bowl. Make it so that it's still playing Blood Bowl. And that would be the thing for me, which is, really boring. Yeah. But that, I think, would be awesome.
And do it in such a way that Tour Play could code it so that you could then have your large team on Tour Play and go, I'm for the 7s, I'm going to put this is my team.
Wouldn't that be so cool? Like, wouldn't that be so cool? Like, just a way to like merge 2 teams, have the roster available for you. But for me, it would be like a cool Death Zone thing with extra special rules. Bring the Giants back, bring variants of Giants back, including Giant Truman, and but have that franchise mode so that you've got an official way to link 7s and Dungeon Bowl and maybe Gutter Bowl into 11s. Like, for me, that would be the best thing, because it would add a little bit of legitimacy to, I think, some of the really fun ways to play Blood Bowl. That was well up on my list. Right, anybody got another core Blood Bowl Games Workshop one?
So Milton had Bring Slan back, didn't they?
Yeah, then Ben was like, you can have them back, but only if they're chaos.
Yeah. Which we were all shocked about, because frankly we just thought he was going to go with more dice.
Yes, Milton does need more dice for his collection. His collectionizing.
Pension?
Whoa. Pension.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, potentially. We've got to hope. Yeah, that's definitely the case. I mean, let's. You've done team. You've done mode. Yeah. I've kind of done mode. Let's talk teams though. Like, for 2026, what team do you want to see come out next? Like, and you can say High Elves, Trips. You want to say High Elves.
So I'd like to see a new team.
Yeah.
A genuinely, it could be a Chaos team. It could be any race. I just think the excitement around the new teams, particularly the way they've done most of the last new teams, where everyone's looked at them and gone, oh, that's a bit weird, but actually it's a bit fun.
Yes.
And you've then gone, well, there's 4 positionals that are quite good fun, and would you ever use the 5th? And then you've worked out the use case for the 5th and then gone, actually, that's quite useful. So I'd like to genuinely see a new team, and I'd like to see that before the High Elves.
Yep.
Because I think if we get High Elves soon, I think with how much better throwing's got, I think you'd see an awful lot of people playing High Elves for a long time. So let's get everyone a new hobby project on the way before high elves
I
come
think we'll be seeing people play them anyway because of the 4 catchers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although lots
No.
of tournaments going, I'd like to point out in the tournament rules you could only have 2 catchers.
That's an interesting one. I mean, that is, high elves are. Yeah. I would also love to see a brand new team land, but it might be that they need to fix high elves quite quickly.
I think aside from my Chaos wishes, if I had to go for new teams, I would like to start seeing them tap onto variants. So where you've got Skaven, let's see.
That's where I
some
thought you were
Clan
going
Eshin.
earlier when you said variant. But sorry, Ben, carry on,
Yeah, Clan
please.
Pestilence,
Yeah.
Clan Eshin, or is it Eshin which have all the sneaky stuff?
Yeah.
Give them 4 gutters, I think that'd be really memes.
Make the orcs fun.
Yeah.
Savage orcs.
Yeah, again, like Savage Orcs. I don't know if they'll touch on that because they kind of, I think, moved away from that for reasons. But there's loads of orc stuff. You've got like within the clans, there's various things. Like Bad Moons and Evil Sons and things like that.
Well, we've now got a lot of human teams, and we've got a lot of elven teams. So there is plenty of space in there for some other variants to come in. Yeah,
Slayer team.
Yeah, that would be good.
Troll Slayer team for dwarves. They've got so much design space. Like
It's Warhammer. They've been doing it for years.
30 seconds. You could list Troll Slayers, all the Skaven stuff, Cathay, Nippon.
Team full of hatred, but also something negative to balance off.
Yeah, English people.
Yeah. You've got 15 goblin types.
Yeah, there's all the goblins. Forest goblins would be absolutely wicked. And I'm not just saying that because when I was looking at teams earlier, I was like, "Ooh, do I put a forest goblin in the cracker and be like, now you're playing super speedy spiders?" But that would be wicked. Like, there's so much design space to go to that. I'm totally with you. Like, I want to see a brand new team, and I don't really care what it is. I don't really care what it is because
it's awesome that we're at that point now where like, okay, what are we going to get like teased with among the teams of legend, which they know they have to do. Now it's like, well, we know high elves are on the way, so after that, like, it's just everything.
It's almost like
everything,
we don't want to
anything.
wish high elves because we know we're getting it. It's a case of when, not if.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this? Like, I think we did a whole pod about this. Like, what happens when they finish high elves, when they finish all the teams? Like, are they going to be done? Like,
I think there's enough design space to go in, and there's enough models out there in the rest of their range to adapt and bring in a few more. I don't want to see them go back and tweak teams that are already in the book and redo them for like the 3rd time.
you see, that I don't think that would be the worst. But I'm saying this from a model point of view because like even the Skaven team is a bit flat. Orcs, humans, dwarfs, like it could do with some better models perhaps.
But give us a variant.
But that would be it.
Yes.
Like, that would be it. It'd be a cool thing to do. Chaos cultists.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah. No, you're all right now. You say that, like, remodeling a human team, I think, could be really nice. Because GW's design has evolved a lot in the last decade.
hugely.
And I think is it 10 years since the human team came out? So
it will be. Yeah.
so that could be quite good actually.
It's the one that feels the most dated when you look at the GW,
doesn't it? Yeah. But you said on the last podcast that you actually do quite like them. There's a charm to them. There's a sporting charm to that old team.
The OWA team works incredibly well.
Yeah.
Like, it's really weird. It shouldn't, but it does. But I
Because
guess
you've only got 3 of the humans that have their arms out.
it's
so.
true.
Yeah.
instead
And
of
there's a
11.
simplicity for new players as well, because you're like, what's that player? Well, does he have spikes? Yeah.
But I guess it comes on to the fact that we've got 30 teams in Blood Bowl now, 31 with Slan. That's a lot of teams. And I still don't feel like it. I don't feel like that's too many teams. It should be way too many teams, but it's really not. But I can definitely see. I could see like a refresh of some of the older teams. I just don't. Yeah, don't know how.
I don't know if you need to change the rosters. I think you can probably just keep them.
Yeah, new models. Are probably
I think they're nice as a base level.
Yeah.
All those teams.
But the thing is, this could be a thing where they could go back then, and for humans, for example, they could make a sprue with 4 blitzers. Like, they could make a sprue with 4 gutter runners. You know, make Skaven.
That's true. Yeah.
They could do it. They could do it. Like, they could do it. He says, like, there might be a bit of a cope thing, potentially, that maybe one day they could do it. But No. Right. 2026 Games Workshop stuff before, like for Blood Bowl itself. What else did you guys have on your list? Anything special?
I'm not sure. I think maybe something I'd like to see is, maybe a little bit more involvement in the community. I guess that kind of touches on art once, but like I kind of want to see Games Workshop push Blood Bowl more than they do.
Because they're not even running Blood Bowl events at the moment.
Are they not?
But I wonder if that's because they knew the new edition was coming. So
Well, but then they normally run something around the Super Bowl weekend, and they've already got their events published past that.
oh damn, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's effectively they've got nothing in the calendar for Q1.
They are so mixed signals. Like we were coming up, like the reason I asked about the halves a minute ago, it's like they were coming up to this and they were like, we're not, there's nothing for Blood Bowl. There's a couple of star players. There's one team left to do. I felt like it was really good odds that they'd necromunda it and just be like, this is how it is. We'll just produce stuff and the game just lives and buy things. Like we'll maybe do high elves and that'll be it. But there's a new edition. We've got high elves, so it makes you think, okay, they're going to be doing more stuff. But then they're not running events.
Which, in a way, if they're not going to run them and just say we're not going to run them, and there are loads and loads of Blood Bowl tournaments out there, it's not difficult to find a Blood Bowl tournament
It's super not difficult.
if you want to play in them. So it's fine to do that. But almost, if they're not going to do that, let's never have the tease that is there going to be something where they bring it in.
But I remember us having this chat. I think it was in this room a while ago about like Games Workshop doing big tournaments and that kind of stuff. I still think that would be really cool, but I don't.
I think it'd be cool. I don't think it's that necessary, and I'm not sure if it'd be that popular, to be honest.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like even their AOS and 40k stuff, like even when they run the World Championship stuff, all it feels like is like there's a bit of a Twitch stream and then there's an article maybe on Warcom and that's kind of it. It feels like they're just too busy to be able to cover their own stuff properly.
Yeah.
And yeah,
it is a very different kind of coverage because it's not tell us about how the model was designed, tell us about a new rule. It's a much more interactive, fluid, and the speed of turnaround. Large corporate companies don't do speed of turnaround.
Well, I mean, I think we could probably, as a team, be bought by Games Workshop to go and do commentary on a big Blood Bowl tournament they're running. I'd be okay with that. I'm sure we could make that happen.
That's going to be clipped now. I think we could, as a group, be bought by Games Workshop.
Yeah,
let's clip that one up.
I mean, if they wanted
To do coverage, we could be bought. Yeah, absolutely.
Around, like home ice hockey fixtures, so we'll pop out on a Saturday night and watch them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that sounds pretty good, actually. Yeah.
But what do you mean, like them?
So I just mean it feels like Blood Bowl's the sort of game they have, and they just have obligation almost.
Yeah.
Give it an update. I kind of think like Warhammer feels like such now a big franchise that everyone knows it now, and you're getting like the big games coming out, like Total War 40k is coming out, and Blood Bowl 3 was the game that they kind of just handed off to a smaller studio. And with all respect to Cyanide, they do a lot of work, flawed as they are in terms of release, I think, publishing. But
it's not the Total War franchise.
No, it's not like huge things like that. And I just feel like with that kind of
Blood Bowl Total War. I like that.
But even if it's other things like Blood Bowl Manager, like a football manager kind of game, would be so sick. And then or Black Library stuff where you have like novels and things coming out, or episodic content which they used to do for that. I kind of want to see more of like expansion of this as a franchise because it's so cool. Like when you talk about it with people who haven't heard of it, they look at you with such bewilderment. Just like,
to expand into the world a bit more.
Yeah.
I was really let down when they did the tie-in with Magic the Gathering for Blood Bowl. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. They're bringing out a blood, and then it was just like 20 cards or something that were just reskins, and I was like, I just ticked the box.
Fan art, really. Like,
kind of. Yeah.
But I think that's what I like to see. It's just a little bit an expansion of Blood Bowl as an identity, as an IP, and that's very much a Games Workshop request because they are the only ones who could do that.
So more app games then.
Right, that's the monkey paw curls and every Chinese tech company creates.
Turn-based Blood Bowl Manager coming to an app store with in-app.
I would absolutely play a Blood Bowl Manager.
Like Football Manager.
Yeah, it'd be so good. That would be so good. Right, we've got all the teams in the world, which is fantastic. We want a bit of Dungeon Bowl. We want them to bring it back in a proper way. We want them to link it with teams, which is fantastic. Not really that fussed about more pitches. I I think one other thing they could do that I would be super, super, super impressed with, and this is like, we kind of, Blood Bowl's really, it's a really linear system. Like, here's your team. Here's some stuff that, you know, here's your team. Here's your team. This is a microcosm. I would be very interested to see, and this would be really cool, kind of with the variance stuff, but micro expansions for teams. Because I think that would be really interesting. I imagine they brought in a Goblin Shankers box that was half blister, that had like 6 players, and you could run an alternative Chaos Dwarf team, an alternative Goblin team, an alternative Underworld team, and kind of like, here's this sprue that you can then apply to 4 other rosters in Blood Bowl, and then it creates 4 new team versions,
or even just one roster version.
Oh yeah, even one would be really cool.
It's similar how they do it with
but
with
one
Necromunda, is like you get the additional add-on.
That's exactly
on
it.
Sprue. There you go. You can have all the nice weapons you wanted now, because we'll actually give them to you on a Sprue.
And that's exactly what I was thinking. Is like, okay, what else do they do for their other systems that isn't like the full? I don't know how it works. I assume that, I don't know. I would assume that making a sprue for like 4 guys is less work than making a sprue for 6 guys, but
it's probably one of those things where it's actually not that different in
Yeah,
production.
yeah.
I think just the creating a sprue is a limiting factor.
But like, I don't see why they can't do some stuff like that, where they can introduce things that work for multiple players. Star players, last edition was, it didn't, like, star players, I want to say they don't work, but they kind of don't work. Like,
I agree.
They've got a limited use case.
Yes.
And
they don't work.
And even fewer of them are actually used.
I mean, this edition where they've reshuffled, I think it's a lot better, because each team has got a smaller pool, which brings in more identity, which is really good.
And also means, as a coach, if you're going to play one team, you don't have to think about 15 different star players you might need. It's going to be one of these 4, basically.
But from a rostering point of view, from a doing stuff with your team point of view, like, I could see a really good opportunity where they can get a lot of applicability to some models. So they get that, like, here's a box that's actually going to be picked, because they've got 30 teams now. So if they produce a star player that's only accessible by 2 teams, like Grim Ironjaw, he plays for World's Edge and something else, and it's only dwarves and ogres are the only 2 teams that can take him. And it's like, what a terrible, like, here's a model that can only be used by 2 teams, like, of 30. Like, all right, why don't you set your bar to 4 teams and actually have it be something that teams can use every game, instead of like, I've got Grim, what are you going to do with him? Don't know, maybe one game 2 of my dwarves will get murdered and I'll have enough team value to induce him for that one other game, and maybe I'll take him. And it's like, oh, wow, that is like,
there's no
the Blood
story
Moon.
there.
No,
it's
like, I'm going to, like, bring out some I don't want to say mercenaries, but some ringers. Like, bring out human ringers. They can be taken by Old World Classic. You can hire them, like, actually put them on your roster, and I just think you could create a lot more flexibility. You can ban them in tournaments. You can keep tournaments clean as you like, but for League, it's like an actual thing that you can do something different with your roster. They could sell models. It wouldn't be the full whack of a whole team and a whole spike and everything. It was just like, boom, here's some dudes you can take. Here's 2 guys. But, you know, they can even do the Forge World thing if you want, because Forge World, pricey, tricky to build, and so small a use case.
How does it work in Necromunda with some of these, like, I'm not sure if you know, but like well, no, I'm not sure if you know the answer is what I'm saying, but like, because they have a lot of these like smaller releases of like a couple of guys, like, how often do they get used? Is the use case also tiny?
So
because they've just dropped the guy from 300, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well,
So they are definitely quite niche cases. So they aren't things that you would want on like a starter gang. If you're playing a campaign, you probably could squeeze it in and work it in. But it's almost down that whole 40k line of going. You have an army of everything, and because the flexibility with Munda is effectively you can have a wider roster than you actually use. So you could
You have a whole
get
gang.
it
You
and
just choose
effectively
a
go,
few.
it's in my gang, and I might not be able to use it very much, but
Okay.
I can use it, and I don't have to wait till half my gang dies before I can use it. It'll just need to tap my arbitrator up and go, please, can you design something that I can use my special character for, please?
There's a bit more narrative, I suppose, in Necromunda.
Yeah,
as
you kind
well.
of build it as like a club, I guess, and then star players
Yeah.
can join your club, and you can have access to them.
No, I love that. I think what it really goes to show is that Blood Bowl is in a fantastic place.
Yeah.
And if all they do next is drop high elves, do an FAQ, we're good for a very long time. We've got a lot of exploring to do in this edition, and then Trips and I think we're talking at the beginning of before we start recording, like then there's just some then the house rules start, because we've reset the clock with the new edition. I remember us talking about this. I think when we were beginning the 2020 edition, we're like, okay, well, we'll run the season, then we can do some house rule stuff. It never happened.
I think it's the case with everything.
A, it takes longer to do stuff, and B, they just to the point where everyone's like, oh, new edition, it's definitely coming now.
Yeah. Right, let's move on. We'll do a couple of quick rounds for stuff that's not Blood Bowl. So Games Workshop, other 2026 wish list, Games Workshop stuff. What would you want to see them do or produce? Or
I think I'm out.
Yeah, you did the community tournament stuff.
Well, that was more expanded universe, really. Blood Bowl Total Sports.
Yeah. So non-Blood Bowl things.
Yes. Non-Blood Bowl.
Oh, non-Blood Bowl. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, I misunderstood the question. Yeah.
So non-Blood Bowl, I'd always like to see I'd like to see them continue with the steady Munda releases that they've got. There's always space for another book on the shelf. He says waiting one for Christmas, and not completely rebuilding the starter box or doing it, because they've
resetting Necromunda would be bad.
Yeah, I think there's space for a new gang. We haven't had a new gang for a while.
Yes. What was the last new gang? Was what? Squats and the Sand People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've always gone down the variants line with them, which has been quite good fun. So I'd like to see them keep that up, because it's my second game. I quite like to keep.
Could they bring Ratskins back with a bit of a rename?
Yeah.
Like Scavengers.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of space in the universe of lore. So
bring them back. Let us know they're Ratskins. Give them rat hats.
Are the Digger Knobs? Is that a Necromunda
Yeah,
thing?
that was Gorkamunda.
Yeah.
But it was Gorkamunda. It's the same system basically.
I mean, and my slight extension of that is I'd like it to be done in such a way that there was like some kind of like spacey corridor game that you could use Munda with. Like, I don't know, it's like like hulky Space Hulk would be.
So this is coming out either Christmas Day for supporters or the weekend after Christmas. So it's entirely possible that on Christmas Day, Games Workshop, there's strong rumours going around that there's something very cool being shown off at Christmas time. And the three things...
Ultramarine Captain, by any chance?
Not quite. The three cool things it could be are a plastic Warhound Titan, which would be wildly unnecessary.
Yeah.
But people will buy it.
I'd build that.
Yeah.
I'd build that. I don't know if I'd buy it, but I would build it. The second one is Space Hulk. A Space Hulk rebranding, because it's been like 10 years since they've done Space Hulk. Everybody loves it. It's just a proper reset. They've just done a whole bunch of new Space Marine Terminators, and it would be cool because when it comes to Necromunda, you've got the 3-level stuff, you've got the Zone Mortalis, stuff like that. But the tiles, I think, were such an afterthought. Like, even in the most recent Terminator, Spyra stuff, it was very much like, cool, just go get real terrain, where actually I think they could have done a lot more with tunnels. So like that's why I think Space Hulk is so good, because dungeon crawler stuff, we saw it with Warhammer Quest, even the book, having the defined areas, like preset maps. There's a reason like Quake 2 and stuff have got such famous maps.
Be like Dungeon Bowl for 40k kill team stroke Munda.
Yeah, that would be amazing, and I would be super excited to see Space Hulk. That would be definitely on wish list. The third high rumour is a Horus Heresy version of Battlefleet Gothic. Now,
interesting.
It's possible that none of that will happen, But I'd be cool. Like, I don't really not really bothered by a Warhound. I'll just print one if I want one.
Yeah.
I've got enough resin.
I can't afford one. It's probably going to drop out at like £450.
But Horus Heresy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've got a cool Reaver Titan.
plate.
We've got a Reaver Titan STL that I'm looking at. I'm like, oh, this is one for at some point. But yeah, Horus Heresy, Battlefleet Gothic, even though it would be limited because it would be Heresy and kind of what they did with the Depths Titanicus, would be so cool. But Space Hulk would be the thing, and that would be my wish list for Games Workshop in 2026. Because not only would it be great to play a game, but also it would be really cool to use for 40k boarding actions or Munda, like, you know, you go into the undergrounds and then you go into the tunnels. Because there's so much cool narrative stuff you can do with Munda. Then you could do the Space Hulk stuff as tunnels in the wall of the hive. So you've got the Gribbly outside. You go through the wall, then you've got proper hive, and it just makes a lot of sense.
There's loads of space. There's some real narrative fun, which has fun games in it as well. But you have the chance to build up that the story around your characters.
I love that. BT,
I'm not sure. Because I feel like I personally haven't engaged much with GW this year. Just so I was thinking about this. Just like, what have I played in 2025 that is GW? And I feel like really it's just Blood Bowl. It's taken up a lot, and I feel kind of happy about that. I've played a few bits of 40k, but I don't know if I would want anything more from them. I already feel quite overwhelmed when it comes to stuff like that. So maybe it's like these smaller individual releases that are unconnected. That is what I want more of. And Blood Bowl.
So what about a GW good board game of something?
Oh, well, Darkwater. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. Yeah.
I like it. I think it's good.
I would like to give it a go.
I don't think it's as deep as you'd want it to be. It's more of an arena battler than it is an RPG light, which is cool because it means you can set up a game in no time at all. You've got a unique puzzle. It's like you've got that pandemic vibe where you're trying to figure out, okay, how do we activate? How do I set up? Like, there's some cool stuff. It's good puzzle, but there's no going to the shop. There's no like,
there's not a lot of depth to it. Each individual thing could be quite good fun, but you're not
brilliantly designed. The quality's excellent. I'm really impressed with it, and it's close, but it's not the dungeon crawler family box game I think it could have been. The book is clever. You give them the book, but it's just classic Games Workshop where you're like, cool. What we need you to do is we want tiles, we want a dungeon, we want some monsters, and we want to like work through it. And they're like, okay, we'll give you a book. That's going to be hexes. And you work through it, but you can't really there's not really a lot of narrative. And you're like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I think I want my board game fix from not GW.
Oh yeah.
But
you must be owed a few Kickstarters still.
Yeah. Thinking about it, I am actually.
Who was the company that went under? Is it CMOD?
Did they go under?
Somebody went under.
I think a few have gone under, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think yeah. Who did Zombicide?
Yeah, that's CMOD.
Yeah, they're gone.
Oh, well.
They sold off. They sold off Zombicide, and they basically
like Asmodee, probably.
And they've basically been like about those other Kickstarters. Don't know if you're ever going to get them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's,
okay. Well, unfortunately, I didn't have any of those.
Yeah. not anymore.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, Games Workshop it's a super like. They do their own stuff, and they do their own stuff really well. So Darkwater's great because it's the first time they've stepped outside of that for 5 years. So it's not just here's Age of Sigmar, here's Age of Sigmar, here's Age of Sigmar. But I mean, Blood Bowl, Necromunda, like they've got such strong IPs, but the stuff they do with the IPs doesn't always hit home. But it's great to see something like that land. I just don't think it's quite what it could have been. It almost needed to be less. Like they've overshot a little bit and made it a little bit more on the niche side. Because you think about the Blood Bowl box sets, what, 80 quid? That's 160.
Yeah, it got quite a reaction from everyone being it's just a little bit.
Yeah, you've kind of.
It wasn't a stretch box. It was like that's an expensive box.
It's lovely. It's really well done, but they're still missing that entry level. Like
That's a definite buy with a friend.
Yeah.
Not
get us a gaming group
and give a team. To
You know,
a friend.
it's as a gaming group, it's what it's £30 each for 4 of you from Entoyment or something, and that's cool. You'll get your money's worth out of it. But I was expecting something like £100 intro box for you know, like the Christmas Day test for your kids. For like, okay, mum, dad, got a couple of kids, let's get this hero quest. Yeah, like they missed out on doing.
No, funny enough, I think that's something which they also miss out on, is because it's kind of a double-edged sword where you've got the really nice models, but you can't just play it. There is an entry. There's prep.
Yes.
The barrier.
Very much so.
Maybe you don't need, GW maybe need to. Maybe that's something I see from GW, is that a foray into more like what's the word? The casting for plastic, like the cheaper.
Cast.
Yeah, it's whatever PVC. That's what I said. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Just maybe even some of those, because GW make great minis. Yeah. Why not embrace newer technology?
Something is a real entry point game, which is designed this is designed to try and get you into the shop. Yeah. And looking for the second game.
Yeah. I want cheaper GW.
They went too hard for casuals, and they went too casual for hards.
Yeah. I think so.
Like, make it at £250. This is going to be the game you play for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's been really well designed.
But
or £80.
A value of £400 when you actually work it through and go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's still quite cool though. It is still quite cool. One thing I'd like to see maybe from Age of Sigmar, because I like the Age of Sigmar world, really cool. The game, really doesn't interest me. But if they did something like boarding actions, like dungeon battles for AOS, like at small scale, I think that would be really. I'd snap that up. And Spearhead's on the go, but because Spearhead's kind of weird, it's not really interested me. But I could see that when they did the Warcry stuff trips with the underground layer and stuff. That was
Catacombs.
Yeah,
that was
like do Catacombs, something twice the size of Catacombs, 500 points. That would colour me interested for some of the fantasy stuff they're doing.
Well, sometimes I think without actually going smaller is better.
Yeah,
because it's quicker, it's easier to play, and it reduces the entry barrier. Because you're not like, I've got to paint 12 models to get into this. You're like, I've got to paint 5 models to get into this, and I've only got to learn how to play with 5 models. So actually, I learn the core rules and then a few variants for what I'm doing. And if I like it, I can go further and harder from there. But it hasn't taken me. Yeah, it hasn't taken me 6 months to go from I want to play a game to I'm playing a game.
6 months to brew up something to find out you don't like it. And we did the Age of Sigmar expansion campaign that Nielsen ran, and it was, even after the game, session 2 was like,
it's a lot.
Yeah, this is a lot and not the best.
I did play the new Kill Team a little while back, which was really good.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I've played it.
Yeah. It looked a bit token heavy for me, but I don't think it was as bad.
I like that though.
It is a bit token heavy, but once you've figured out what they're for, it's got a good flow to it as a game.
The 3D printer is a goldmine.
Yeah.
I played it. So the person I played it with had like all the full sets, even 3D printed holders for all the tokens. You just slot them out, and it was good. Yeah.
That's like an afternoon print on a bamboo.
Yeah.
Okay, so Games Workshop wish list we're done, and one last one outside of Games Workshop for the greater hobby wish list for 2026. What would you guys want to see? It's a big question.
Like personally, or just in the world?
In the hobby space.
Yeah, in the hobby space.
The hobby space, non-Games Workshop stuff. So, we did Blood Bowl, and we did what other games from Games Workshop do you want to see? And then outside of Games Workshop, what do you want to see? What would be cool this year?
I might touch on what I was sort of touching on towards the end of there, where it's just like more easy, like you said, easy barrier to entry for the hobby. Because I think we're in a world where now it's getting quite expensive, and GW is getting very expensive, and everything's getting a lot. I think it'd be good to celebrate the stuff that is a lot more affordable. So like people like making terrain, from scratch, like you're like a
licensed terrain only.
Yeah, well, like what you did with the stadium.
Yeah,
and like I think it's awesome to see, and I think like
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, I just love to see that, or like things to encourage that. Like, there was one game I remember ages ago that I really wanted to play and get into, and I can't remember what it's called, but it was like a solo RPG where you kind of like make all your maps yourself. Never got around to it, but I was just thinking like the idea behind that is just so nice to think about. And yeah, I kind of just want to see people just sort of enjoying it and painting stuff up, and engaging with their local hobby shop or whatever to just make stuff. I think maybe it's a bit of a wishy-washy answer.
That's a
but
wicked answer because that's super old school. Like,
yeah, I kind of want maybe a return to old school. A rejection
Ben's
of
getting
new
old,
products
everybody.
and just enjoy what you've got and paint what you've got and make it as good as possible. Yeah. Maybe that's it.
That's a very, 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 very
turning
very
30 this year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But yeah, you are starting to sound like us. Trips, have you got one for non-Games Workshop Hobbyland?
So it's sort of similar. I'd like to see like a board game that would be complex but start out at a low level with an easy entrance that you could play. So something you could play with a group of friends and go, we're going to play this once a month or once a couple of months, and it will steadily grow, but it will grow at such a pace that we want to get there, but actually we're not going to lose anybody in the first 2 goes, and it's not just going to be... But it's going to be enough fun to start off with. So maybe it starts card-based and token-based, and then maybe you gain expansions and detail from there. Something that's just completely different, but it's got a narrative feel to it. Because I think I'm at that stage where the story is almost more important than anything else.
Yeah.
So something where there is some story and life to it, and but you can enjoy it with other people and detail. So yeah, something that starts simple and builds from there. Because I think if it starts simple and that's it, but where I am now, it's like I don't need it as an entry point. I'm already sucked into hobby.
Yep.
But I could do with something.
You want to do the tutorial mission, and then you want the first 2 stages to be, I don't have to worry too much about this. I can just get good and start. Yeah, then the challenge comes.
Yeah.
But
and then I want to go, there's the cave variant of it. It's like, well, that looks quite good fun.
Yes.
Yeah, let's play that in like 6
See, that's
game
where
time.
dungeon crawlers, like not high-end dungeon crawlers, I think low-end dungeon crawlers fit that box quite nicely, because you want a game that's really quite simple, that's quite casual, and then you can add stuff to it because you want to add stuff.
I mean, I'm probably describing Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, you can't. You're describing Dungeon Saga in a lot of ways as well, because that's what Mantic have done with that stuff. It's like they've gone, here's the base set, and then here's all these expansions you can add to it and work through it as a team. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff like that.
You know what rattled around my head recently? No, because it's funny you mentioned that, because I just remembered about it. Was I love this idea of embracing the ability to 3D print. To enable this sort of stuff where you can play it as like a solo adventure or with a friend or something like that, where it's a full-on narrative thing and you can play out this game, whatever game it is, doesn't matter. But as you read the stuff and you add stuff to it, you would then have like a website or a library that would present the new things. Whereas it's always been a little bit of restriction in these dungeon crawling games because they send all the models, and so you kind of get a bit of spoiler. You have to kind of avoid looking at cards or avoid looking at models, and you can't really prep them.
Don't open layer 3 yet.
Yeah, and it's always like a little bit annoying. But if you had it digitized and you just download the next file, well, as you read through the book, you can see what you're encountering, and then you can paint it up.
That. You finish up a session, and then you're like,
and then it describes the big evil
previews the next one.
Yeah,
page, and you go right.
Go print and get ready for next mission.
And now you can play it in the next one.
Yeah.
I just think that's really exciting. Like Oath's one did that best. So, but it still had this. So another boss battling game which had all the models in hidden boxes. So it was so exciting with friends to be just like, the narrative explains this thing, and you have a visual in your mind. You open it, you see the model. It's like, oh, that's awesome. And then you have to go and wait 2 weeks to someone to paint it. But it's. I mean,
But it'd be nice if you could do it, but you could start on that small scale so everybody could get in.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go, I've had to buy the £800 box in case we get there one day.
Man,
it's funny because
sounds good.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but it sounds good.
The idea that I had in my mind is that a thing I've been obsessed with in the last couple of years is Pokemon Nuzlocking, which is, you find random encounters and you have to stick with your one that you find first. And I'm just craving that solo experience that game offers, which is basically a really intense puzzle game with a completely different puzzle each time you play it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're getting. So you have to work with the tools that the game offers you. But I would just love that in a solo tabletop thing where you just, each thing is a puzzle, but you could endlessly replay it because the tools you get randomly given, or the tools that you seek to acquire, would be different every time. And I just think that would be so good.
My ideal setting for all that has always been like the space
Parsecs.
Exploration and war option games. So like EVE Online, where
Space
Actually,
spreadsheets.
I have played it.
Wow. Yeah.
And at the point of going where you can actually have do your own thing in detail, but actually it could build up into a massive, like,
you're basically running a limited company.
yeah, detail. And actually, there's
Space
so
guns,
much depth of going there, and then you can have like, well, we're going to have the battle of all battles
Yeah.
to end stuff, but you don't have to go there, and that doesn't have to be your end point, and it doesn't have to be anywhere near your start point either. So, and I like the idea of you touching on there with like the solo variants or variants, so you don't have to like. There's got to be 5 of us, and we've always got to.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we can play with 3, or we can play with 2, or we can go off and do something else. So something so that you can evolve as long as you get on. Yeah, if someone can find that and stick it in the comments for us,
like,
then we'll give it a go.
It's so funny. You either go really high on the freedom element. So what is it 5 parsecs or 50 parsecs or something?
5 parsecs,
yeah, you got that kind of stuff where it's miniatures agnostic. And you kind of want the freedom and the exploration, but with I think the key thing is like set maps, set missions and things, because what we found from Blood Bowl is like you want that shared experience. Be like, I played against orcs. I played against orcs. Like, and that's something that's missing in the tabletop sphere is having a have you played mission 5 of the orcs yet? Because that's hard as hell. Like that's really challenging.
Yeah, and if it's too RPG, then it's too
free.
The thing I did, you will never experience because it's been designed in such a way that you'd have to have been there to see it.
So we want a cooperative dungeon or space dungeon thing with set missions that you can bring your own teams to, but they're small teams of like 2 to 6 models.
Yeah.
And you can co-op.
Yeah. Or solo or whatever.
Yeah.
Or competitive.
Something so you can name them all.
Random each time.
Yeah.
You can have random mode, but you can also have preset narrative to play through.
Yeah.
We also want to manage it in a video game,
and let's make it online.
Yeah. So like once every 6 months, it's like we have to do that thing now because that's like the end of season.
Wouldn't that be so good? That'd be so good.
Yeah.
I love that. I like the idea of a challenge thing because then that's what's been missing from my life. Not really, but this is why I was so excited about Dungeon Crawl. It's like Cursed City Lands, and I was like, oh my god, everyone's going to play through these stages and complain about the stages, experience the stages, and I thought that would be really cool. And that's I just think that shared experience, and then the next dungeon comes out and you want to clear through the dungeons and stuff like that. I think people want episodic content for tabletop.
100%.
And you've had that sort of shared experience of detailing. You're like, oh, so next time, do I want them to grow like this because then they could go to there? And you're like, it's your theory casting things to go forward. And actually, what you're doing is you're spending more time thinking about the game and playing the game, which is therefore making you want to play the game.
That's more hobby time.
Yeah,
like the game outside the game is super.
Those long drives are going, well, I figured out what I'm going to do with him.
Yeah.
In 17 skill up time, this is going to be great.
I like that. There's some good stuff there. All of that stuff is on the wish list, definitely, because that's quality stuff. For me, the wish list is just that I actually get on. And to be fair, I've been doing some stuff and get some Kings of War on the go.
No, I was like looking at what you're showing me, but I realised it's just there.
Yeah.
I'm so used to
like a box hat, a camera. Oh, Kings of War.
I really like how they're setting out this new edition because they're doing a campaign book every 6 months, and every 6 months 4 armies get some stuff.
Yeah.
One army's going to get quite a bit of stuff. The others kind of in descending order, like they get a little bit of update and a couple of models and things like that, and it progresses the narrative. And that is very much on my wish list because you've got that, you know, in 6 months something new is going to come. You don't really know what it's going to do. You know, it's going to advance the story, which doesn't have to matter to if you don't want it to, but there's going to be some new units. It's not a massive overhaul, but it's like, oh, cool. Yeah. There's four armies.
That add-on. By the time we go, you've got the core and there's a bit more.
Yeah, and because it's kind of like just starting now, it feels way less overwhelming. Because I think that's something that you didn't mention there, Trips, but kind of you don't, if you start something too late and there's too much content, it's a loss. Which Necromunda is close to that at the moment, where you start and you're like, I've seen Trips's books. And that's
it
that's
can be
much
very
books.
scary if you look at that. And
Which
go,
is why I think you're right. I think they need a new beginner gang.
Yeah.
I think they need a new beginner gang to be like, hey, that's cool. Start with these guys. Like, it's the militia guys. That's what they do. Like, it's reset the story. But I want to see more games that people can get on board with.
Yeah.
That, as much as I love Games Workshop, I want to see other companies do stuff in a sustainable way that people can build communities around. That have products that are really good and that people can be supportive. Not to kill Games Workshop or do all that. A little bit to keep them honest, but a little bit because what Games Workshop do works really well for their people. Why is there's not a huge amount of other companies that have that level of embedment? Like there's BattleTech. BattleTech has its problems. Like Kings of War, Mantic do such a good job, but it's just quiet. It's just weird. So my wish list is that people look around.
It doesn't have the household name of Warhammer. I think that's
Exactly.
What it is. Yeah, when people play Warhammer, that's what they say. They play Warhammer. You know.
Yeah, but
Henry Cavill can go on a chat show and say Warhammer, and people don't look at him like no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're in a small square of niche, but people understand where he is.
Yeah. I want to see more people playing more other games, and I want those games to be chill. Like, don't rush everything. Don't do the Kickstarter Simon thing, which is like, boom, here's your stuff, and then we're going, and then that game dies, and then it's just gone. Because that's the big thing, right?
It's ironically with it coming looping all the way back around to Blood Bowl, going away from multiple teams a year and just having 2 a year. That is plenty fast enough.
That's about right.
Because you want the time to go. Oh, I'm gonna have to wait till I get it. Then I'm gonna get it. Then I'm gonna have to get used to it and build it and actually get it on the table. And I don't want it to be gone before I even had a go.
And it's really funny because, like, I think Ben's a really good example of this, where, like, I don't want to say you slow down, but like, there's only so long you can go so frequent with. And I mean this from like a content point of view. So Magic the Gathering, they're having this problem where it used to be 4 sets a year, and one of those sets was pretty small. 2 of the sets were quite small. One of them was reused stuff. So there wasn't so every 3 months you'd get more stuff. Twice a year it was big brand new stuff. The other 2 times of the year it was rehashed and medium stuff. So it was pretty keep upable. They've gone to 5 or 6 sets every year full of new stuff. And the Magic the Gathering guys are just like, this is mad.
Because if you don't buy it on day one, you're going to be behind.
It's too late.
2 weeks later.
You've missed out.
Yeah.
So it gets back to that point where actually I think 6 months is probably perfect. And I think that my thing is, like, there are other games. So here's your big thing for this 6 months for this game. Cool. I have no responsibility and I've completed it in 2 months. Cool. Go play Conflict 47 for a couple of months. Go pick up Dystopian Wars. Like, go play Kings of War. Go do something else for a couple of months, and then come back when the refresh happens. And I think everybody is showing that fatigue. It could be like me and my place and eyes, but you see the stuff on the community, when you see what people are commenting, when you see other YouTube channels like who do the bigger games, they're like, this is slower now, and I really like it because it gives me more time to play with the stuff.
Yeah, I paint full time and I can't keep up.
Right.
Like, I don't know how people.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting one.
Life's full. Things that give you flexibility of time are great.
And money. And I think that's the other big thing here, is that these days you want to get your money's worth.
Well, you got to get value.
You've really got to get your money's
really
worth.
key, yeah.
And we're getting to a point now where I think a lot of people are being like, okay, I got to pick one for a bit.
Yeah.
I got to actually genuinely pick one for a bit. Like, if I want to do this, then I know.
And I think that's really hurting the new entry points, because you're like, well, I won't. Do I get in on it when I know, is it going to still be around in 6 months?
That's it.
And also, I'm going to let someone else figure out whether it's any good first, because I'm not going to put time and effort into.
And then the game goes away, because
then it's going to go away, or everyone's going to go, I'm really not that good.
Which comes back to what you said about gaming hubs, like local gaming shops and stuff like that. If there's so much going on in such a short space of time, it's too late to organise a tournament, it's too late to organise a league, because everyone's on to the next thing, and then the game shop doesn't get any support. And this is why I've been so drawn to Mantic, is because they've actually been doing this for 10 years. They haven't gone away. Like, they're still a thing. This game that you can buy into Kings of War now, and you're going to be able to play it in a few years' time. Whereas, like, there's Conflict 47 that's come out. We've got StarCraft coming up.
Oh yeah.
War Machines coming around back. And it's like those games that have been around for a while and come back for the 2nd or 3rd edition. I think they're becoming so much more appealing now because, I can pick this up. And then in 9 months when our group gets together to actually play it, it's still going to be there.
And because they're on like their 2nd or 3rd edition, they've worked out the big bugs and issues with the rules, and they unless they've completely screwed it up, it's going to be in a place where you can pick it up and play it without having to take a degree in the game.
And I think the OPR thing this year was a bit annoying because I thought OPR was going to swoop in and kind of provide that stability in the background where you go and, okay, cool, I want to pick up this Necromunda game, but we're never going to play Necromunda. That's okay, I can use them against your Gene Stealers, your Conflict 47 stuff, and your fantasy stuff, and we can just play a game. And then they went through the beta hell of like just destroying all confidence. I'm sure what they've come out with is fine, but it was just the way it was done was like a case of like, cool, you just can't play our game for 3 months. I was just like,
no one wanted this.
I was dude, like, I totally get what you're doing, getting the community on board with redesigning the rules, and I love that, but I don't like, that's just people. You are the safe haven of like, don't worry, because you can always use it for one page and you can't actually at the moment. You're like,
massive, like,
self-sabotage a little bit.
Kick yourself in the face type thing.
Yes, so that's stabilized now. So hopefully 3.5.1 is in a good place because that provides that backup. Which, so if Kings of War turns out to just not be as much fun, like the old world looks great, plays slow.
Models don't go in the bin; they go on the shelf. They can now be used for that.
Yeah, but you can use them for OPR. I think that's having that system that may not be as deep as you want it to be, but is fully accessible to everybody, I think is wicked. I want to see them grow because I want to see them provide that. Because that means that if a cool game comes out and you buy all the models and then no one else plays it, well, that's cool. Like, you can still pick them up. Like, I'm not just saying that because there's Warzone Resurrection models that I'm looking up and I'm going, I remember these from a kid and they brought them back. But yeah. Anyway, that's probably enough wish listing for 2026. And yeah, just a massive thank you to both of you for hanging out and talking Blood Bowl. Sorry we couldn't get Milton over here, but we couldn't find a truck on a boat that we could smuggle him onto. But a massive thank you to everybody. Happy New Year, I guess, coming up, and we'll see you in 2026 with the Bonehead Championship and hopefully Guts Bowl as well, which is going to be pretty amazing. Oh yeah. Right. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thank you guys. That was good chat.